Hey guys, it's Angus, and today I'm going to give you a movie review of The Equalizer. So the story is actually pretty simple, and we've got Denzel Washington playing this retired Black Ops operative. So firstly, straight away, he's not like a show-off, and it's not like a James Bond-themed film. He's sort of like a lonely guy in a way, and he tries his best to keep it in disguise, and he works in a hardware store. At the start of the film, you'd probably have no idea that the way his life has previously been is what is meant to be. So of course, because it's Denzel Washington, he's quite a badass character, and there's a lot of action involved, and he promises his dead wife that he no longer be this person who he used to this girl who gets beaten up, and he cares quite a lot about her because he feels sorry for her, and basically he's like, well, I'm going to make an exception just for one day, and it's kind of awesome and dramatic as well, and you sort of know when he says that he's going to absolutely kick ass, and he's going to absolutely fuck shit up. So this girl is Chloe Moretz, and of course you know her from other films like Kick-Ass and stuff like that, but I think she's really good in this film because she does her job really well, and it's actually really unexpected because I don't think she did a great performance in the previous films that she's done, but I actually think she did an impressive job in The Equalizer. So the character at the start of the film she plays is quite obvious. She sort of plays this prostitute, and she doesn't really intend to do that because she has to, because it sort of gives the image that she doesn't have any money and she has to do it, and of course that wants you to make you feel sorry for her, and of course Denzel Washington is that person who feels sorry for her, and because of that, character gets sort of beaten up, and Denzel Washington's character sort of wants to really get revenge because I think he really hates that in the film, and yeah, that is pretty much where we start to find out that he isn't just an average man. So we've actually got quite a lot of other big actors in The Equalizer. We've got Martin Scorsese from Lord of the Rings. We've got David Harbour from End of Watch. And we've got Bill Pullman from Independence Day. And also Melissa Leo from The Fighter, Prisoners, and Oblivion. So after watching the film and finding out there's actually quite a lot of big actors that I didn't recognise, I actually wasn't surprised because this film has got a huge $55 million budget. Now, yeah, it is a Denzel Washington film, but it literally is just him and some other actors, you could say, evolved around an action film, and I think that's a really significant amount of money for a film that really isn't actually that big at all. But of course, because they have a huge budget, they have a lot of really great things about this film. Of course, the first thing about it is Denzel Washington. He really does play his part, and he's worth the money because he's such a good actor, and also I wouldn't say it was his best performance, but I'd definitely say he did a good job. Also, what I really liked about The Equalizer is that all of the actors I think did a really good job. I don't think one actor actually let down the performance, and I usually find that quite a lot of films with a high budget have one or two actors that lets it down, but I didn't find the case with this film, and I thought that was really good. Also, the music's really good as well, while it is also mainly evolved around action. It's fine because it is just really good music, it's original, it's really dramatic, and it just works really well. Some of the soundtracks in The Equalizer is probably some of the best soundtracks I've actually heard for a while. Not the best overall, but it had some really fantastic individual songs. After the film, I actually found out that Harry Williams did the music, and actually he's done quite a lot of stuff previously. He's done music for Shrek, X-Men, and Prometheus, and they're all three really big films. One thing I really liked they did is that they made his character actually hidden, so he wasn't like a show-off, or he wasn't full of himself at all, and it was actually quite unexpected as well because you felt that you didn't know the character, but you felt that you did as well at the same time, which I really liked because I didn't want it to just be all exaggerated. It was really nice, well spread, and I like the way they wrote that in the story. What I also like is that it's got some really dramatic character development. There's no stupid sequences, like usually in a lot of action films there's a 30-minute chase, or something like that, or an hour fight scene. It's just really nice and short, And while that can be disappointing for some people, it's really effective because they concentrate on what is actually important. So while there were loads of really good things I liked about The Equalizer, there were quite a few things I didn't like, and probably one of the first things was the story. Now, I know I mentioned before that there were some elements in the story that I actually liked, but overall I thought the story just wasn't good enough, because while it did try to make it different from other action films, I thought it just wasn't more detailed enough, and they probably could have made it more unique. And also I would have liked of them to done a backstory, because they jump you straight into his present and it doesn't really show that much from the past, so it makes it really difficult to understand his overall character. So while I also mentioned that the fight scenes were quite short, which was quite good, I found it a little bit disappointing because one of the very first fight scenes was literally 20 seconds, and I thought that was way too short. I thought they were going to make more fight scenes longer, but those were the lengths generally for the rest of the fights, and I would have liked to seen them a lot longer because they're really good, and I thought trying to evolve around away from it, and quite frankly, there are some other things I didn't like it as well. Next thing was probably the cinematography. So while the cinematography overall was good, the problem is that the cinematography in the fight scenes was too annoying. Now, what I mean by that is that it was too close up, and it wasn't using too much shaky camera or anything like that. It was just too close up, and because of that you just really couldn't understand what was going on. I usually find that this happens in quite a lot of other films, and it usually is quite an effective technique, but I thought it was just really frustrating because you couldn't understand who was fighting or who was where, and it kind of made the scene unpleasant. I think the third thing that I didn't like about this film was literally just Denzel Washington. It wasn't his acting and it wasn't him, it's just the fact that the way they used him too much. I think they overused Denzel Washington. Now, they probably have paid quite a lot of money for him to be in this film, but I just got literally bored of him at the end, and I wanted to see other main characters take part. They did do that, but I got bored of him, and I would have liked if they spread it more equally between the characters. So overall, I thought The Equalizer was actually an impressive action film, and there were some really good things about it when you compare it to other action films, and it was really cinematic, and it was good acting, good music as well. So overall, I would give it 7.4 out of 10. So that is my review of The Equalizer. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Hey guys, Zangus, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Season 5 premiere of The Walking Dead. So I've never really done a review of a TV show or a TV show premiere, and of course this is my first one, but I've done tons of movies.